What's up, guys? Today I have a new deck profile for the budget series, and today it's going to be a red-yellow Bulma deck. So here's the price, $32.18. So extremely cheap, and I would say this deck is obviously with the better cards you can add into the deck that maybe you have like one or two of, or if you do have more money than this, just add more of the good red-yellow stuff to it. Can be probably a tier 2 deck, I think. Obviously, with the new expansion stuff coming out, this deck does get a big boost, and I'm assuming most of those cards will be cheap. But here's the deck or main deck breakdown on the side. You guys can pause it. Here's all the prices. The most expensive card being the Bulma 1-drop SR, but she's only $10 for all four, so not too bad. But she is almost a third of the whole deck. I'll get right into the main deck. If you guys don't know, Bulma has a permanent which all red and yellow Saiyan and Earthlings gain blocker. And that permanent's on both sides, and then she has an activate main to draw one, and then an activate main on her awaken side to draw two. And then normal leader, life 4 or less, untap 2 energy, flip her over. And I'm gonna get into like the extra cards, like self-awaken stuff first. So I run 3 after image, really good red negate. Topo's really expensive, so I didn't want to add him into this deck. I want to try and make these decks pretty cheap and just show, like, leave some room for people to add their good cards in. 3 intensifying power trunks, good to self-awaken in case they are trying to stall you, but you are still wanting to self-awaken. He's really good, add a card, critical pressure, and at worst case you play him for 1 and he becomes a blocker. 4 Krillin super combos. He's Earthling. You can play whichever ones you like, but he's an Earthling, so I just like it because you could also just play him out and he has blocker. Like, very worst case, you can do that. I do run 1 Nimbus, just because you do have so many blockers. You already are really good on defense, but sometimes it's just good to have that extra Nimbus just to end or stop their whole turn. Through 4 Whis the Spectator, Energy Exhaust, obviously, really good card for 2. And then the 1 Spice, I run 1 Power Charge Bardock. You don't have too many finishers in this deck, so you can give him double strike instead of drawing. Or you could draw with him, and then also 15k, but obviously you could add whatever you want to this spot right here. This is kind of just a fun spot. So the main core of the deck is the Son Goku, Path to Godhood, and Dawn of Divinity. So obviously I run 4 and 4 of them. When you play this card, you play him in the drop, and then you can get a Gohan, Goten, Vegeta, Trunks, Videl, put them from your deck to your drop, and then you play out Dawn of Divinity. And then when you do play him, you can either play him from deck or hand. He also gains double strike and dual attack. So he becomes critical, double strike, dual attack with offering, and he's 20k, so extremely good pressure. Now the reason I do run a lot of 4-ofs in the deck, because usually it's mostly 3-ofs for Bulma decks, this is just so, I'll get into the side deck, but that will clear up the room. Easy places to clear up room to add in your flex cards or other good cards you want to add. So since we do need all these cards in the deck, we'll start out with the Bulmas. Obviously you don't need Bulma in the drop, but she's just really strong for the Vegeta cards. When you play her, draw 1, and then her activate main, you can choose 1 red or yellow Saiyan in your drop with an energy cost of 1. You negate its skills and then play it, and then if you played a card, you mill 2. So really good to mill 2, get your other cards that need to be in the drop for the Goku, and also just a blocker, 1-drop, draw 1. But if she does get killed by an opponent's skill, you can play out Raging Frenzy SS Vegeta. He has double strike, and then his auto, if your leader's red, when Bulma is removed by an opponent's skill or KO'd, you can play him, and then can't play him for the duration of the turn. So you can have multiple on field, you just can't play 2 in the same turn. So say you play a Bulma your turn and they like minus it or something, you can play him out and then pass, they kill another one, you can play him again. And this also works if they chain Zeno. Once you draw your 5 after chain Zeno, if you actually do pull him and you had 1 on her field, you're still able to play this guy. And then I also run 2 Explosion of Fury, just in case you need to just combo off of Vegeta to get him in the drop. You can do it this way, but also if there's a Bulma in your battle area, you can play him for 1, and then he's 15k power. So good beater. Next card, we can go into the Videls. I run 3 Heroic Duo Videls. You play her for 1, negate the attack. and then she becomes blocker. So you stop 2 attacks with her. Extremely good card. Probably should add a 4th one. I just have her at 3 right now because I do run 2 of Videl Miraculous Aid. And her thing is, if your leader card is a red Bulma, you can choose, and you choose 1 red or yellow Saiyan or Earthling in your drop. Place it at the bottom of your deck. When you play her, you can choose 1 red or yellow Saiyan with an energy cost of 3 or less in your drop. Add it to the hand. So basically, say you play this Bulma and you do like you've done her effect and you mill off like a super combo or this Path to Godhood. You can put them basically back onto your deck, and then you can choose another one that you want to replay, like another heroic duo Videl, and then add them to your hand. So I think this card's really strong, just for being able to get the pieces you need for certain plays of the deck. Going in to the next card, you need 4 Gotens I run, just because he's revenge, so he's a revenge blocker for 1 energy, and then just for the the activate main. And then for the Trunks, I run 4 Trunks the Cunning. He's a play 1, draw 1, and then for the duration of the game, if the turn player would use skills for battle cards or extra cards that switch energy to active mode, they can't do it unless they warp 5 cards from their drop. This card's really good because it's for the whole game, so you can just play him for 1, and then if they kill him, his auto is still on. And then also just for the activate main. But you still draw 1, he replaces himself, and then he becomes the blocker. So obviously really good. And then the last ones, I do run 4 Gohans. They do have to be Son Gohan Adolescents, so this is why I'm running these ones. This guy, when you combo with him from your battle area, you can minus something by 5k for the duration of the turn. So pretty good little card just to minus some stuff. But then I also do run 2 Determined Training Son Gohans. His activate main is you burst 3, and then he gets 5k in critical. So he does become a critical beater, so it's a good threat. And then burst 3, so you can get your pieces into the drop faster. And that's the main idea of the deck. You know, you just play out Path to Godhood for Dawn of Divinity over and over until you finally beat them down. But say some of these cards you don't like, and you still don't have a lot of good cards, you're still able to run stuff like Birthday Party. You play it for free if you have a multicolor energy, and then you can draw 2 and then drop 2. So just good for replacing your hand. Denial of Hope, it's a cheap card, extremely good red negate. I would add this in. I honestly forgot to, but easy way, you can drop probably drop a Videl and like a Vegeta or something and add like 2 denials, because the card's insane if you don't have topos. And this is also what stops the topos. They're all one-ofs, just like ideas you can run in the deck. I do run Exalted Trio Trunks. I don't know why I keep saying I run him. It's a force of habit. But if you have a Videl in play, he gets reduced by 1. So he's a 1-drop red, or for 1 red energy. And then his auto, when he attacks, if you have a Son Goten in play, he also gets 5k in critical. So both Exalted Trio, Trunks, and Goten, they both actually work really good with this deck, since you are playing these Videls on field, because her with her negate and then her for her activate or for her auto ability is really strong. So then you can play out this guy for 1, and then you just have a Goten sitting on field, or other way around, if you play out the Goten version and you have a Trunks sitting on field, they get 5k and Trunks gains critical, and then Goten gains double strike. So really good early game pressure. Another one is the Hero Rare Vegeta, just kind of some sauce. His activate main is if you do have a Bulma in field, you can take it and place it in your drop, and then you play him, and then when you play him, you choose something ignoring barrier and give it minus 10, and then you can't play him for duration of the turn. So kind of cheap. It's not too good. Honestly, you'd probably prefer leaving Bulma's so you can play out Raging Frenzy Vegeta, but he's also just some little spice if you like him. Roshi right here, another same thing as the Videl. You negate for 1, and then he becomes blocker, so stops 2 attacks for 1 energy. Planet Vegeta. Planet Vegeta I run, or you can run if you want to find any of your Godku pieces. You can find your Gohans, you can find Goten and Trunkses, or like if you run the Exalted Trio like kind of package, makes it easier to find them. So that's why a good option. Now here you have support Trunks and like any vanilla. I just picked Tien because I like Tien a lot. It's good overall. I don't know why I have him in the deck. Sorry, it's pretty late. Actually, don't add these cards. The only cards I would say add is possibly like Scientist Fu for very last ditch effort for the end of the game. If you're trying to run it, or like just some overwhelm double strike to end the game off really quick. Maybe if you have Dark Banisher, you can add him into the deck, or if you have like Assault from the Skies Mira, you can add him. So I do apologize for having these two guys in. I totally forgot that the deck's all from the drop. So you want to play Overwhelm as like the last ditch effort, so maybe only adding one of them. And then also, if you want to add more Bulmas, Explore Bulma's really good. If you guys don't know, you play her for 3, and then when you play her, you mill 2, untap 2, and then draw 1. So for it's good, you know, get this package off. And then if you really wanted with the sauce, you could add the mech suit Bulma that goes with her, just for some extra fun. But obviously, like I said, if you have the good heartfelt pleas and stuff, you can add them into this deck. But let me know what you guys think about this budget deck, and I will be back with more budget strategies and decks later.